Wow, I have to say this series that we're doing here, the number 5 Atlanta Hawks versus the number 4 New York Knicks, is probably my least favorite series in the first round, and I'll get to that in a minute. This game comes on, or the series premieres Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TNT. If you're in the states, and this is the third game of that slate on Sunday, and yeah, just some keys here. The Atlanta Knicks. Sorry, let me start over there. The Atlanta Hawks and the New York Knicks are new to the playoffs as of late, and that's just how it is right now for both of those teams. They're just now getting back into the rhythm of getting into the being a good team and getting to the playoffs for the first time in a while. And it's good to see that. The New York Knicks had an all-star this season in Julius Randle. Last year, the Atlanta Hawks had a all-star in Trey Young. So for these franchises to have these type of caliber players that they're depending on, and then to ultimately make it to the playoffs and to be basically in the middle of the Eastern Conference, says a lot. Neither one of these teams had to go through the play-in tournament to be where they're at, which is great. So congratulations there for the Atlanta Hawks and the New York Knicks fans combined. Atlanta Hawks fans, maybe Carl. Hey, shout out to Carl. You might be the only Atlanta Hawks fans I could think of right now. And New York Knicks fans, I don't know any as of right now. Growing up, I knew a guy named Sebastian Rains. I don't think he listens to this. I haven't gotten in contact with him for a while. And I remember him being a New York Knicks fan. That was before Carmelo Anthony there. So dude, just shout out to New York and whole. We usually take a yearly trip up there, like a work trip, and we didn't get to go last year because of COVID. So looking forward to going up there again. But yeah, shout out to New York Knicks fans wherever y'all at. I'm sure there's a lot of y'all, obviously in New York, but just throughout places. That's just what I have to say there. But for me, the key to this series is going to be the pace of each game for the series. I feel like the Atlanta Hawks, however they like to play, the pace is going to be key for them, and then the New York Knicks, how they like to play, the pace is going to be key for that team as well. It's just kind of hard for me to kind of determine because of the lack of playoff experience here. For both teams, just like I said, just newly making it, but they're in good positions, and this is a good matchup for each team to kind of test their might, so to speak, Mortal Kombat style against each other without too much added pressure or extra factors involved. But speaking of factors, let me get into X factors. X factors for both is going to be coaching, which is doesn't sound very exciting there, does it? But coaching to me, with Tom Thibodeau there for the New York Knicks, he is a coach with playoff experience there, and yeah, I like what he's doing this year. So I think he's going to be a tremendous boost there, and how he does his rotations or shorten his rotations even more. And then Coach Nate McMillan, we know what he's been doing with the Atlanta Hawks ever since they fired their last coach and he took over. And I know he played in the league, and I'm trying to think of where he coached, and I'm sure he's got playoff experience. So I'm just going to leave it at that because I didn't do my homework. Sorry. But yeah, let's get going into other individual X factors. For me, the New York Knicks X factor is going to be Derrick Rose. Shout out to my boy Derrick Rose. I'm a big fan of his. And yeah, I think just because he's like the seasoned vet there and he's helped out tremendous. And when I did the PPF on him, check out our PPF videos if you haven't already. But where we do individual past, present, future breakdown of a potential player. So on the D Rose, yeah, I definitely think what he's doing this year for the Knicks, even though he comes off the bench, maybe could be 6 man of the year, I don't know. But what he does for them, I think is going to be kind of be putting on a higher standard, a higher platform. He's going to have an elevation in his game for this series or for the playoffs as a whole because of what we see him contribute is in a small sample size of him playing under 30 minutes. I think ultimately they probably would need him to play about 30 minutes a game, and that's going to increase his stats compared to what he does in the regular season. And that's going to be a big key there as well, managing him and not pushing him too far as, health concerns or have anything flare up. But yeah, I'm interested to see him back in the playoffs and do big things. Last time he was in the playoffs was when he was playing for the Minnesota Timberwolves under Coach Tom Thibodeau, and they had Jimmy Butler, 2018 maybe, I think, if I get my years right. But and then moving on to the Hawks. So just when I was trying to formulate the notes for an X factor there, I was just basically going off of the Knicks X factor and Derrick Rose being the vet. So let me go to the veteran there with experience, and for me that would be Gallinari. I think Gallinari could be the guy that kind of helps them keep that mental edge that they need to survive this playoff series. But you can also follow it up with Clint Capella as well, because Clint Capella is somebody who definitely has playoff experience, being with James Harden for X amount of years in Houston. But I'm not sure how much of a vocal leader he is, but I could definitely see Gallinari being there because of things that he did for the OKC Thunder, which is the team that I like, and he definitely has experience there, and went to playoff rounds with Russ, PG. So I think he was there with PG. No, he was in the PG trade, right? I don't know. Maybe we didn't have him, but the 1 year. But anyway, he has playoff experience there, and so yeah, that just kind of puts it into a counter for me for the New York Knicks. But this is going to be the end of this video because I don't have a lot of notes here, and I kind of feel like I'm just making stuff up. But let me get into the juicy part, which is my prediction. And this prediction is probably going to be bold for the people who are listening to this. And you can leave in the comments what you expect. But for me, Knicks in 4, clean sweep. Let's go.